Good morning, Thursday morning. Just want to take a look at the large scale weather pattern over the next week. Nothing too crazy. Well, not in terms of weather, but in terms of this video. It'll warm up a little bit this weekend to the 40s, which will be nice. And you can see we have a little storm system that's going to stay to the south. There's going to be no interaction with this northern stream up here. So this is going to come up, give some rain, maybe some sleet to the Carolinas. Probably not, probably mostly rain. And head out to sea. Okay, then we can see a little warm weather builds in. Now on this map, it's just know that the cooler colors are lower areas of lower pressure, normally colder air. The higher colors are areas of higher pressure, normally warmer air. They really represent ridges and troughs in the jet stream. So watch this pattern evolves next week, and March, unfortunately, just the cold air does not want to go away this month, and I've been talking about that. And you can see by the time we get to Wednesday of next week, we have possible interaction between the two jet streams, which I talked about in my post yesterday, which could potentially cause a storm for this time period. Right now it's just potential, it's not guaranteed. I'm not even ready to take a stance on that, but I just want to show you how this pattern evolves. I mean, look at this. This was on Friday. Look at this big ridge and big trough, right? Big long mean ridge, long mean trough. It's going to keep the cold air locked in on the East Coast and also potentially develop a decent storm for this time period. This is Friday the 14th, which is not lucky either. So as we move past this period, you can see it's still, temperatures still do not want to moderate as shown by the lower pressure over the eastern coast. And we have that stubborn ridge that's building over the west coast for the period. As we move closer to, say, March 20th, we start to possibly see some breaking down of that ridge and maybe more of a Pacific flow, which will cause warmer air. But you know what? Even that might be off the table right now. I mean, I think we might have to wait to April this year until we get the real spring temperatures in like the 60s consistently, because it's going to be a below normal month for March. Below normal in March is not as cold as below normal in January. Keep that in mind, but it's just not pleasant outside, and most people I know are ready for the spring, but we're not out of the woods yet. Patterns like this in March can produce storms. I want to make that clear. We've had some big storms in March many times, especially in mid-March, so we really have to keep our eye open for this pattern. And one thing we also look at here too, why another long-term climate factor. Look at the dates here, okay? Look what happens when we get to March. See all this warming that's going on? So not yet. This is from February's warming. It gets cool, okay? Now watch all this warming. This is warming up in the stratosphere, so the highest levels of the atmosphere. When you warm the highest levels of the atmosphere, it compresses and makes the air denser below it, and denser air is colder. So that's where you normally see areas of colder air develop where at the top it's warming. So there's going to be some stratospheric warming, especially over in this region. You get a trough in this region here. That's what really supports the ridge over the west coast, and that's why I'm saying this pattern is not going away anytime soon, at least for the next 2 weeks. So keep checking in. If next week really starts to evolve, or I think it's worth paying attention to, I'll let you know. But just know the threats on the table for storm next week, and really storm development over the next 2 weeks. It's not a crazy statement. I mean, the pattern's there. Pattern's always been there. Just a matter of it doesn't want to yield anything. Thanks for checking in.